Welcome back to Foodie Down Bronx. I'm your host, M, the Hungry Dominican. La Cocinita de Maria Juana is the brainchild of my first guest. It started as a platform that would enable her to educate, unite, and empower her community, all while remaining committed to her core values of keeping her culture alive, one bite at a time. Joining us now to discuss La Cocinita de Maria Juana is founder April Agosto.
Thank you.
Hello, April.
Hello.
Thank you for appearing on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
So this is a really interesting endeavor. So as I said in the intro, you wanted to create a platform where you could really push the message of your culture.
Yes.
And when did you actually get the inspiration to do so?
Started about a year ago. So I was playing around with some medicinal properties on my fire escape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mom said I couldn't
Where
cook.
all dreams start.
Yeah, my mom said I couldn't cook in her kitchen. You know how Spanish moms are. So I just bought a crock pot, conventional oven, and I just started messing around with it, and it worked. Started giving it to my family, friends, and went from there.
What kind of recipes did you use? Did you take like mom's recipes?
Mom's,
or
all of her recipes.
All of her recipes.
Everything's hers.
Oh, really? So everything that I see on Instagram, everything that you
I stole
offer
it
people,
from her.
it's all mom's recipes.
It's all mom.
How does she feel about that? She was flattered, I'm assuming.
Yeah, she's like, it's not that good. I'm like, well, yes, it is.
She was being humble about it.
Yeah, supposedly.
So you started a year ago, and tell me the journey, because now we're at the end of 2019. We're going to 2020.
Yes.
How have you seen your business grow?
It's been a beautiful journey. I've hosted a few events, which have been highlights. So my first event was the Melting Pot, and it was a multicultural event. We brought up different vendors. We had different artists, whether they did poetry, rap, and they performed. We had 2 salsa dancers, so that was great. And it was just a way to bring our community together where they can just enjoy one another. That was great. Then my last one, so the last one for 2019 was Un Ratito Contigo, and it was a speed meet network. So the idea was to use the resources that we already have in the Bronx. So you hear a lot of networking, but you hear it a lot in like downtown or business or real estate, but nothing really in the Bronx where you can create your own resources or you can just chat it up with the person next to you and you don't even know what they're doing. I'm shy, so networking has always been difficult for me. So I was like, speed meet, why not? So you had about 3 minutes less to speak to someone, introduce your business or what you can do for them, whether it was partying, whether it was photography, whether it was cooking. We had yoga instructors, like it was really dope. And they just got to know one another and it created a space where it was vulnerable. You could be vulnerable, you could be yourself, and you could just introduce yourself and what you can offer to those around you, your community, your neighbors.
So tell me a little bit about your shyness, because you've put yourself out there in a very public way. The first thing with your business, and now you're on social media and you're hosting events. Were you trying to challenge yourself?
No, I'm an Aries. So we take things head on.
I see.
So regardless of what the obstacle may be, I just move forward. I got to do it. It's not for me. I kind of tell myself that I'm creating a conversation that's needed within my own community. So I'm just here. I'm a puppet, basically.
I see.
For
You're
the
just
bigger
like
picture.
the messenger of what
there
needs to
we
come
go.
out there.
There's a bigger picture.
Tell me a little bit about Un Ratito Contigo. You just mentioned having these events, but what was the inspiration to have these events? Again, you said you were shy, and that's also a great way to have other people that may not feel comfortable, just being super open. But when did that idea spark in your head to have that?
Like, I need to create something in my home, in my backyard, where it benefits my community. That's kind of where that started, and where it kind of went from there.
It's amazing. So tell me a little bit about your use of, or I should say, medicinal foods, right? You do, well, I'd rather have you explain exactly what the angle of your food is.
So we use medicinal properties, which is something, how do I explain this? We use medicinal properties to start a conversation at home. So education. Education starts with a conversation. If you come home to your mom with our amazing spring rolls,
which I will be having very shortly, yes.
And they have medicinal properties, she's more likely to try that than if you were to bring her a oil tincture, let's say. She's going to be like, ay, no, que esto, no, thank you,
right.
yada, yada.
The understanding is not there. of what it is,
Exactly.
right?
So I started it at home with my own mom and kind of messing around with that and like, well, try this, you never know. And I suffer from migraines myself, so it helped me with my migraines. And then she's always complaining about a back pain or a shoulder pain. So we started off with like different teas and things like that. And then now she eats pasteles en hoja that have medicinal
Without
properties
question,
in
right?
it. Without question. She's like, let me get it.
Did you find it, so did it start off as more of a personal journey, you know, since you were dealing with some physical pain and you had seen that maybe some family members were dealing with it as well? Was that sort of the inspiration to go that
I think
route?
it was a mixture of things. It's very important for me to educate my community as a whole, whether it's myself or my family or my neighbor. Just education is very important. I think is what we lack the most. So I think a mixture of not only myself, but just everyone around me. I work with the TBI patients, so I see their pain on a daily, and they don't have the education for these medicinal benefits. Like I've had them come up to me like, my doctor suggested this, and I can't do that. Like that's against. And it's like, well, let me talk to you about it. Like let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what does it include, what is it going to do, how is it going to affect you. And a lot of them are just like, oh wow, I never knew that. Like I will try it. So, just education.
And because we're in New York, you of course you've seen those limitations of what these medicinal properties, what you're allowed to sort of do with them.
Yes.
Right? And actually, I want you to mention what you do for your sort of main job, because it's so interesting and it connects I think pretty closely to you having your business. So what is it that you do exactly?
So I'm an assistant cognitive therapist. So we deal with a lot of TBI patients. So they've had traumatic brain injuries, and it affects their cognitive abilities. So whether it's memory, visual spatial skills, verbal fluency, things like that. And then a lot of patients look for the medicinal properties for the physical pain. It can also help with anxiety and depression, which TBI patients deal a lot with.
Right. And again, going back to how you sort of, I guess, infuse it with your business, what is the reaction that you get from people who try out your food? What's the sort of, I guess, the initial reaction?
It's just like, wow, you sure this has anything in it? You wouldn't know. Are you sure this is good? They wouldn't know. They're really surprised. I've had chefs try and they're just like chewing on it. And I'm like, are you looking for something? And they're just like, I'm just surprised. It tastes like, and it's like, that's the point.
It's a very subtle flavor.
It's very subtle. You can't taste it. It's just for you to enjoy. The concept was, you get to have your grandmother's cooking with some medicinal properties in it.
Yeah, I saw a picture on your Instagram of mango.
Yes.
And I was looking at it and I was like, is it or is it not?
It
But
is.
I'm assuming it is.
It is. It definitely is. Mango we've done. So this is vegan actually. This was one of my
let's talk about these
greatest
right here.
creation.
So what are these exactly?
So it's vegan spring rolls and they're stuffed with sweet plantains and vegetables.
Okay. These are not.
They're not. Enjoy. You can. Don't worry.
Let me take a quick bite.
Yes. Go ahead. Let me know.
My crew always wants to see me. So.
Feel the crunchy.
That's very crunchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all for all you SMR lovers. That's very good.
Thank you.
Give me 1 second.
No problem. Take your time.
I wish it were a little bit warmer.
I know. I'm sorry.
No. It's not even your fault.
Out.
This is the fact that we had this out for so long, but this is really amazing.
Thank you.
Tell me about any more food events you might have coming up.
So we're definitely going to do some more Un Ratito Contigo.
Okay,
We've
perfect.
gotten great feedback, so that we're hoping to do that every 6 months.
Okay.
I would love to do another melting pot as well. That was great. And then I'm just looking to do, I haven't explored yet. I want to do so much that I don't know where to start.
Of course.
That's been my problem.
Well, at least you have the aspirations to do so. And,
Thank you.
And if you keep giving everyone what you're giving them, you might just have the energy.
I hope so.
Or everyone has the energy to do
I
it.
hope.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, stay connected with April at La Cocinita, the MJ on Instagram. All right, guys, grab yourselves a snack, perhaps one of these if you're so lucky to. Foodie Down Bronx will be right back.